right. Hello, everyone. It's your girl, Jynnette the Oracle, and I'm coming here today to give the May Tarot Spiritual Guidance forecast for the sign of Sagittarius. So if you have a Sagittarius rising sign, sun sign, moon sign, or north node, this is going to be for you. If you've been following me for a while, you know the last few weeks I haven't been here because YouTube changed their settings, their protocols, so I wasn't able to jump on my phone to live stream, but now I figured out a way to do it on my laptop, so yay. So we will be here, unless something else comes up, right? And then we adjust because that's how life is. So that means, of course, that Oracle Talks will be back up and running again Thursdays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So that's where I do a weekly channeled reading and also do an open Q&A. So please join me Thursdays at 10 a.m. And then also for the month of May, I have a new featured man from my Divine Masculine Rising Instagram series. So if you would like to listen in on that, May 3rd and May 18th, which are those 2 Fridays in May, where we're doing the interviews at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Check us out. My guest this month, his name is, I always mess up his name, Afamaye Galaraga. Yes. So he is a priest of, I think, possibly 2 different African diaspora religions. I think Lukumi and maybe something else. I can't remember. But yeah, I'm excited to talk with him because he's my first spiritualist. So everyone else has pretty much been artists or business people. So I'm looking forward to that. Anywho, enough about that. Let's get to you guys. So I think last month I had set up a completely different way of doing things, and I totally forgot to go back and look to see what that was. So I'm doing a new mishmash of things. It is what it is. But anyway, your card, the guiding message for you, what is there for you to pay attention to, overall message is this card here, number 63 of fear. Now 603, of course, reduces down to a 9. And fear, there's a lot of stuff with fear, right? Because it can be things that are rational fears or irrational fears. Rational fears are, threats to, your actual physical safety, practically being afraid about whether or not you can pay your bills, those kinds of things. But there's also irrational fears, which are based off of worry, anxiety, things that have happened in the past that you're projecting into the future, all that kind of stuff. So let's actually see specifically for the bulk of you who are watching, because this is a collective message, so it's not necessarily going to be for everybody, but my hope and my intention when I pulled these cards was this is for the highest trajectory and possible expression. Now I did see the mystery card or the oracle card just now. So it could be a fear of the unknown because you're in new territory. And this actually should be a place where you feel comfortable. Sagittarius, you like to scout into new territory. I also saw a little bit of the world. Oh, it did still come out. Look at that. It still came out. So yeah, it's a fear of the unknown. Let me get some more cards out. But you're supposed to go there. This is exactly into the unknown is where the universe is asking you to go. And it might really be scaring you. It might really be freaking you out. But that's good though, because it means you actually are moving into new territory because you don't have a frame of reference for where you're going. That's actually a good thing. That means you're no longer in the same old cycle. Look at that. And just as I say the cycle, the 2 of Pentacles come up, which is about the yin and yang and understanding the cycles of things. So now you understanding, let me get the rest of the energy out because I can tell this is about to be a download. I shouldn't be surprised though, because Jupiter's in your sign. Of course, 2 of Pentacles can talk about seeing all the pros and the cons and figuring out which path to take. but it is also assessing where you are, okay? Because when we talk about cycles, if you are just coming into a period of growth, then you know you're going to be on that cycle of growth for a little while before things kind of stall out and balance out. And then if you are in a place where things are kind of neutral, or you've been going through a lot of loss lately, you know that what's next necessarily has to be a period of growth and expansion, because things don't ever stay the same. They go from stagnation. Well, I'll do it. I don't know how it's going to be showing for you. Maybe I'll go this way. So it's a place of like stagnation, like nothing moving, and then there's growth, and then there's stagnancy up here, like when you just chill and you're coasting on the wave, and then there's a period of decrease and decline, and then you get to a place of more stagnancy or stasis, where things are just on a holding pattern, and there may be some more decrease or correction, adjustment of path, before you come to another place of stillness. It really just depends. All right, one more card. Yeah, I think this is internal fear. This is internal fear because you're really, as you are embarking on this new path into the unknown, it's freaking you out, but it's also being really good for helping you to address your belief systems right now. We have the Hierophant that comes out as the strategy to help you with moving through these cycles, moving through the change into the unknown. And of course, the High Priest, well, not of course, you might not know, but the High Priest is associated with the zodiac sign of Taurus. And that's literally the sign that we're in right now for the bulk of May. So yeah, we're looking at your belief systems about what you can have in terms of finances, relationships, health, where you live, the legacy that you're creating and leaving behind, your destiny, like all that kind of stuff is coming up. Now it's, everybody's in their own place. So it may only be one of those things that I listed, or it could be all of them, who knows? But wherever that place is where you're just like, I don't know, that's good, because it means it is new, and it should, or it can be used as an opportunity to really look at your fundamental belief systems and see what the old stuff is, so you can let it go. Because I think for a while you may have you've been in a pattern of like just sheer apathy, to be honest. Like you've just been doing what you need to do to get by, but now it's time to shift. And I'm getting the words opulence and abundance, the ability to be in a place where you have creative expression and growth and expansion. But there is a door that's open to you, and it's going to require you to grow and expand your community, expand your ideas of what's possible, and to make some decisions that are different than what you would normally make, so that you can have a different experience. Okay, if you want something new, change your behavior, change your thoughts, change your life. You're in control of that. Okay. All right, Sag. I'm excited because there's not usually anything that comes up that actually scares you. And this is not a debilitating fear, but it's a facing of yourself, facing of your fears, facing of the patterns that have been in play, and really doing some assessment of what's working for you and what's not, what you need to get rid of, and what you can keep as you move forward. Okay, so let's get into relationships, which is what everyone always wants to know. So for those of you who are already in committed partnerships or married, we have this card here of slowing down. Okay, so you, the two of you may be in a place, or the group of you, depending on the structure of your relationships, you may be in a place where you are doing some recalibration of the dynamics of the relationship or the relationships, so to speak, or yeah, recalibrations. So it can be in the dynamic between you guys, or what you're building towards for the future. So take the time to do that, and address your fears in that process, and allow space for your partner to have that, experience as well. One second. Yeah, because this is something new, and I also got the word baby. So maybe there's a discussion about that. Okay, now for those of you who are either single and looking, or who are just in the phase of dating, whether one person or multiple people, we have this card here of giving. So I think you actually might be at a place where you're shifting your understanding about what it is that you want and what you're looking for, what you need. But let's see. Five of Pentacles. Now, this is a Taurus card as well. And this is something here about, like, I mean, with that card being giving, maybe you are having to just adjust how much you give or how much you receive, or seeing where you may be taking too much, or maybe not taking enough. But this is on the grounds of the Tower card. So there may be some breakdowns of, if you're dating someone or multiple people, there may be some breakdowns here. Because the Five of Pentacles could very much can talk about a breakup as well. So if that's the case, I'm sorry, because I know that sucks. Now, if you're single and you don't even have anybody on the radar, I'm getting the word loneliness here. So it's on you to push yourself out of your comfort zone and get out there, okay? Or, if that loneliness really has some deep-seated trauma associated with it, take the time right now to heal that and look at those belief systems. Like, you can take your time with that as you explore. Like, you're allowed to, you're allowed to slow down and move at a slower pace, which may be very different for you, Sag. Which may be very different for you. You may be used to getting in and out of things very quickly, but if you are looking to have something more substantial, it's going to require more time. Okay, so let's talk about your career. So for career, we have this card here of danger. Okay. So let's see what that's about. Because with you having fear as your general message and danger in the career section, there might really be a lot of transition. And we already had the Two of Pentacles show up. So maybe there is just transition happening across the board. Okay, so I got the Four of Swords again on the grounds of this mystery card. So this actually might be the primary place where you're feeling this fear stuff. But ultimately, there's something for you to be doing right now. Like this Four of Swords can talk about taking the time to strategize as needed, but ultimately, it's not a card of action. It's a sit and wait and see what unfolds. So if you've already been making some inroads, or have already been applying for jobs, or if you get the sense that there is some shift happening at work or what have you, it's not quite time yet for things to change or to shift. Basically, like, when it's time for you to move and to act, trust that the universe will let you know when that is, and you will know what exactly it is for you to do at that time. But for the most part, really just chill, because this is the unknown. Now, also the other thing with this is it talks about meditation and being in a place of quiet. So letting the errant thoughts and the distractions from outside go away so that you can get more in tune with your inner wisdom, okay, with the clarity, with the why of your heart, so that the mystery can reveal to you what your next steps are. But I can see that that's a shaky place. So I would encourage you, if you are needing some guidance around that, reach out to me for a private session, because obviously I can't pull in what may be going on. But yeah. Okay, so now for money, we have this card here, fast. So let's see what this is about. This mystery card again. Okay, so I think this is really a predominantly work-oriented thing for you. Work, or if you own your own business, whatever it is, but anything related to the work that you do. This is up in the air. And you're trying to figure out how to navigate and be able to take care of yourself as you move forward, because something is definitely shifting there. And it scares you. I don't think it's out of the blue though, but you're trying to figure out how to manage. Okay. Things are going to be shifting though. You're fine, because this message is sent from the Princess of Wands. So this is the beginning of a new cycle. So you're not really going to be starting from scratch, although it may feel like that. Okay. But keep the faith, stay focused. And you know, if you are entering into a period of time where, excuse me, things might be a little shaky financially, then scale back the way you need to scale back. Reach out for help and support now. Like, tell your family and friends you like this or that or whatever it is starting to come up for you, and start rallying the troops, start rallying support for you, so that it's not a shock and it's not so disruptive to your way of life. Okay. Because I know that's tough. I know that can be tough. Trust me, I know. I'm not just saying that. Many of us, most of us, have had hard lives or are still having hard lives. So you're not alone. And if you ask for help, you may be surprised at how much help is actually there and available for you. If you do truly need it, you know, because the fear again might just be a matter of the fact that you're going in transition, but it's not necessarily a matter of like everything falling out all under you. It's going to be different for everybody. Okay, and I saw 1811, so that's good. So let's go week by week for the month of May, my dear Sagittarians. Now, I just realized too, with this fear card being a 9, that's also your number, because you are the 9th sign and you rule the 9th house. So I think ultimately this is a positive thing. Like, you are shifting into something new that you need to move into. And I love that this card actually has a snake on it, because as a mutable sign, your job is to transform into something new. And that's a lot of what the snake imagery represents. It's also about ascension. Now, it's interesting because, like, you know, Scorpio, we usually associate with transformation, which, you know, it definitely is. For sure, it has that role, even though it's a fixed sign. But Sagittarius, I would say, would be the ascension process. So the fire that gets birthed from the transformation process of Scorpio, that Phoenix energy, is the light that lights the arrow that you have, that you shoot off into the distance, that sees the long game and provides the hope, the wisdom, and the faith to go in the direction of what you want and where the soul is calling. So I think ultimately it is a good thing, and that's my hope for you. That's my prayer for you. I hope that this is not a destructive meaning debilitating transition. Okay, so for week 1 we have the 10 of Cups. which is nice. Family, home, feeling good. Week 2, 9 of Wands. We get that 9 energy, but this is a card of like having to work a lot, right? And then week 3, interestingly enough, we get that 4 of Swords. Okay. Now that week 3 is also going to be when the sun moves into Gemini, which is your opposite sign. But that's going to be a time of strategy. Gemini also has to deal with the mind and thoughts. So it's great correlation. And then finally, I love this. Week 4, the Fool, literally beginning a new path. So this is, yeah, I mean, this is a time of transition for you. But the fact that the Fool came out means that you are going through a process where you are truly closing out a cycle, you know, whatever this is relating to, and you will be starting on a new path. So you are going to need that time for rest and strategizing, but life won't ever be the same, and it's starting anew, it's starting fresh. And confirmation for that here at the bottom is the 10 of Swords. This is the ending of a cycle, ending of a lot of stress and worry and all those kinds of things. That's done. Okay, so let's get some clarification on week 1, where we have that 10 of Cups. What is this relating to? Or more clarification about that. And, you know, especially for those of you who are in committed partnerships with that slowing down energy, with this amount of transition that's happening, you know, I could see how that might put some strain, although happy strain, on the relationship. So, you know, take it easy. Because, you know, basically by the time we get into Gemini season, things will shift. Okay, so we have the 8 of Swords here. So this is very much... I think this is a lot of stress, either about preserving your sense of security and safety with family here in week 1, or your sense of security in finances in general, you know, if it's work. I think it's just the whole kit and caboodle. It's a stress thing. And again, this is that fear energy, but this is a personal experience. It's not an outward thing. Okay, so that's good. So you're just going to be in your head throughout that first week, stressing about whatever it is that's stressing you. Week 2, with the 9 of Wands, we have the 3 of Wands on the basis of the Emperor. So this does have this sense of starting over as well too, but it's like you are kind of recalibrating. The 4 of Swords is that, or excuse me, the 4 of Wands is that place when you do have a sense of security, whether it's security at work or security in family, okay? And so something in here between week 1 and week 2 is shifting, where you're having to work hard and strive to preserve 3 of the 4 wands, because whatever that 4th wand is either leaving or in some type of transition. So you're doing your best to maintain. Okay. But the 3s are always a good place to be because it's a creative space. It's a place of shifting and changing. Now the 4 of Swords in week 3. This actually feels like pretty straightforward. Most of the other signs so far had like a lot of cards coming out when I was going week by week. And you guys so far are only getting 1 card per week. So I think it's pretty cut and dry. Week 3, Queen of Pentacles on the basis of the 6 of Swords. So yeah, being able to have a higher and better perspective about this, and you are secure, you're fine. You're fine, so don't worry about it. And Pentacles is very much related to the physical aspects of life: money, health, house, home, relationships, etc. So the fact that you're still showing up as the Queen, even though there is some transition happening, you're fine. And then last week, week 4 with the Fool. Two cards. And they're both 7s. 7 of Pentacles and 7 of Cups on the basis of the 2 of Swords. So this is great because this is, 2 of Wands. Why do I keep saying Swords? because you're in your head. So sevens represent personal mastery, but it's also the place where we've gone like 2/3 of the way of our race, and or the end of the race being like getting to the 10. So we've made it 2/3 of the way, and this is the place where we actually have to dig deep and push forward, because the next number after this, of course, would be the 8. And 8s are your portals into something new. And we have, the Fool card. 8 is infinity, or, the void, new beginning. And we literally have the Fool here. So you are going to be in a place of stability. But both of these individuals, as you can see, are considering their options. You're really having to assess what you have, what you've built in the physical, and also how you're feeling and the options that are there. And seeing, up to this point, your thoughts, your emotions, your behaviors, your actions, your agreements, all those things, like what has brought you to where you are, seeing what has been working and what hasn't been working. And for those things that aren't working, learning and strategizing a way to shift them. Because once you get to this point, you're not starting over. Okay, once you get 2/3 of the race, like you're not, like even if you fall at this point, you're definitely going to get up, right? Or trip at this point. Like you're going to get up, you're going to finish, because you can, at this point, you should be able to see the end of the finish line. Okay, so at this point, it's only going to be some minor tweaks. And what I love about this particular card, the Two of Wands, this depiction anyway, this person has a choice that they have to make. But you see, like they're literally, they're standing at the castle walls, the top of the castle, and they have these two wands, and they have the world in their hands. So they're secure. And we saw that already with the Queen of Pentacles. Like you're secure. So this decision isn't being made from a place of lack. Okay? Not at all. So decide where you want to go. And, given that that mystery card was coming up so much, there's more available to you to experience. So it's really a question of how far do you want to go? And know that the bigger the dream is, whatever the long game is, it's going to have its own cycle of manifestation that's going to take time. If you're building towards anything that is significantly bigger than what you have now, consider that it's going to take twice as long as you think it will in order to manifest realistically. Especially for you to be able to hold on to it, and for it to come from a place of power and have staying power. Imagine that it's going to take twice as long as you think it will. And if it's really something that's going to be transforming your life, like transforming your economic status, transforming your relationships, transforming your health, or what have you, it's going to take time. 5 to 7 years is short term. You really want to go more like 7 to 10 to 12 to 15. Double the amount of time. Stretch further, dig deeper. Let me get closing guidance for you. And I think you'll see what I mean, Sag, especially when Jupiter shifts into Capricorn at the end of the year. You'll see what I mean about that, okay? Closing message is 2 of Swords. Trust your intuition. And the 5 of Cups. So there's still some healing. There's still some release. This is literally transition. There's a lot more transition that's still needing to happen. So this is a quiet, relatively quiet experience that you're going through right now. There might be a lot of transition happening outside, but there's a lot of internal recalibration. And I think, honestly, it's just going to be in play throughout the entire year that Jupiter's in Sag. So I wouldn't, yes, you will have some, I wouldn't expect for there to be like major gains being made during this time, because Jupiter acting as the Wheel of Fortune is slowly turning the wheel, or shifting the direction that the river, the flow of life is going. And that takes time. You don't just like pick a river up and like shift it, right? So know that this process is going to be ongoing throughout the year. And then once that is done and we settle and Jupiter settles into that Capricorn energy, I think you're going to find that, like, oh, you have your legs under you and you can move forward with confidence and really go on a trajectory of building something of significance that really makes you happy. Cool. All right. So that's your message, Sag. Thank you so much for listening. If you would like to book a private reading, you can go to my website, innersinalchemy.com, for sessions. Also, enrollment is open for the Lightworker Academy. So semester 2 begins right at the beginning of July. So you can take a look at the courses that I'm offering. There's 3 different ones for you to choose from. So you can take one or all, or apply for all, whatever it is. And that's great. Please also sign up for my newsletter. Please subscribe to the channel. Please do all the things. I love you so much, guys. And I will see you next time. Bye.